I'm Adam. And I'm Tango. And this is Where There's a Williams, There's a Way. Hey Tango, did you hear about my new pet rock?
Really? A rock? What's so special about it?
It's very low maintenance. I don't have to feed it, walk it, or clean up after it.
That sounds like my kind of pet. Maybe I should trade in my hay for a nice sturdy rock.
Imagine a pet rock race at the next county fair. We'd be the talk of the town.
I don't see it getting a television deal.
Today's book is a clever, funny, and informative look at the pets from Calvin Coolidge's wallaby to Teddy Roosevelt's flying squirrels that have passed through the White House gates. Let's get started. If You Want a Friend in Washington, Wacky, Wild, and Wonderful Presidential Pets by Erin McGill. As the president, you are in charge of the whole of the United States of America. That is a lot of responsibility. Citizens might not agree with your opinions, ideas, or political party. Whether Whig, Federalist, Republican, Democrat, or Independent, many presidents hoped for a reliable and steadfast friend. Harry S. Truman once famously said, "If you want a friend in Washington, get a dog." And a dog is what many presidents got. Plenty of presidents found a friend in Fido. Abraham Lincoln's dog was actually named Fido, which is Latin for trust in or confidence in. But Lincoln thought life in Washington might be too stressful for Fido. So when he was elected, he found Fido a new home with a close friend. Fala, Franklin D. Roosevelt's dog, held the esteemed title of honorary private in the U.S. Army. George H.W. Bush's dog, Millie, wrote a book for the First Lady Barbara. After Millie passed away, the Bushes showed their gratitude by dedicating a dog park to her in Houston, Texas, affectionately naming it the Millie Bush Bark Park. Barack Obama's dog, Bo, did not write a book for his owner, but there were plush toys created of him. Everyone could snuggle with Bo. President Truman didn't follow his own advice. When a supporter from Missouri sent him a Cocker Spaniel named Feller, he quickly gave him away. Maybe a dog was not the kind of friend he had in mind. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a cat. And a cat is what many presidents got. Dixie is smarter than my whole cabinet, and furthermore, she does not talk back. The first cats to take residency in the White House belonged to President Lincoln. He loved to rescue strays. Legend has it he liked talking to them. There were many Siamese cats in the White House. The first to arrive, Siam, was a gift from an American diplomat in Bangkok, Thailand, to President Rutherford B. Hayes. President Bill Clinton's cat, Socks, enjoyed perching on his owner's shoulders. Socks also did important therapy work, visiting students and senior citizens. You might think that when you're a president, you can keep whatever kind of cats you want. Nope. The Sultan of Oman sent President Martin Van Buren 2 tiger cubs. Just as Van Buren was preparing for the tigers' arrival, Congress stepped in. The tigers were confiscated and sent to a zoo. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a more practical pet like a horse.
Did you know that I have a pet at home?
Really? What kind of pet do you have?
Well, it's not your typical pet. It's not a dog or a cat.
I don't know that horses had typical pets.
It's a goldfish.
A lot of people have fish. When I was a kid, my neighbor would make fish tanks. He always had tons of fish that I would feed when he went on vacation.
Bubbles is a great listener. I can tell him all about my day, and he just swims around nodding in agreement.
It's always nice to have someone you can talk to.
And Bubbles is a master of hide and seek. Sometimes it takes me hours to find him in his little castle.
And a horse is what many presidents got. George Washington, our nation's first president, had very bad teeth. He went through many sets of dentures. Washington did not want his horses to suffer the same misfortune. As a result, he had a fastidious toothbrushing regimen for all of his horses. Open wide. Before cars, horses were not just loyal companions, but also modes of transportation. John Adams, the second president and first to live in the White House, had extravagant taste and built 12 stalls for his horses and their fancy carriages. When Adams did not win re-election, he left his horses and carriage to the incoming president, Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson did not agree with Adams' politics or with his taste. Reserved parking, Cleopatra and Caesar, property of the United States of America. First Lady Jackie Kennedy's horse, Sardar, along with pony friends Tex and Macaroni, found themselves in the middle of a scandal when protesters revolted against their wardrobe, or lack thereof. No saddles and shoes? They were completely nude. Decency today means morality tomorrow. A nude horse is a rude horse. The horses, of course, did not care whether they were clothed or not. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should choose a pet that doesn't require clothing, like a farm animal. And a farm animal is what many presidents got. President Woodrow Wilson put his pets to work to help the country during World War I. His flock of sheep nibbled at the White House grounds, keeping the lawns tidy so gardeners could join the war effort. Selling the sheep's fleece was very lucrative. Some of it was auctioned off to help the Red Cross. Some was used to make yarn to create products such as socks for soldiers. President William Howard Taft enjoyed fresh milk. A senator from Wisconsin thought of the perfect gift for him, a cow. Her name was Pauline Wayne. The fans called her Ms. Wayne. The bovine became very well known and even toured the country. One of her stops was at the International Dairymen's Expo in Milwaukee. People were so eager to try Miss Wayne's milk that once, when an agriculturalist spotted her grazing at the White House lawn, he decided to hop the fence and sneak a taste. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a bigger animal, one you can't sneak up on. And a bigger animal is what many presidents got. What do you give a president who has everything? An alligator. Legend has it that's what Revolutionary War hero, the Marquis de Lafayette, thought President John Quincy Adams might like. It is said that Adams kept the alligator in the bathroom and would show it off to his guests. What do you think about those presidents who had horses as pets?
Horses make terrible house pets. We're not exactly built for cozy living rooms.
You could be my pet. Imagine the convenience. I could ride you to school every day.
Ride me to school? I'm not a school bus, Adam. Plus, good luck fitting me through the classroom door.
Well, I could park you in the teacher's lounge. You'd be the coolest faculty member.
I appreciate the thought, but I don't think apples and carrots are on the school cafeteria menu.
True. But think about it. You'd be an excellent motivational speaker for the kids. If Tango the horse can do it, so can you. President Calvin Coolidge was given a pygmy hippo by businessman Harvey Samuel Firestone. Billy, as the hippo was named, was immediately donated to the National Zoo. He became a star exhibit at the 1939 World's Fair, and his descendants can be found today in zoos across America. The prize for biggest pet goes to Herd of Elephants, a gift from the King of Siam to President James Buchanan. The only problem? The elephants never arrived. When Abraham Lincoln, the next president, got word that the pachyderm parcel was en route, he politely declined the shipment and sent them back. If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a smaller pet, like a bird. And a bird is what many presidents got. Mockingbirds were among the most popular fowl to grace the White House. President Thomas Jefferson had a few of these beautiful birds, but his favorite was called Dick. Dick had free range of the president's office, and Jefferson enjoyed harmonizing with his bird on the violin. President Abraham Lincoln signed an official proclamation to set aside the last Thursday in November as a day of thanksgiving and praise. In honor of the new holiday, someone sent Lincoln a turkey. Lincoln's son Tad took a liking to it. He named the bird Jack and taught it to follow him around. One day, Tad and Jack interrupted a meeting to beg his father to save his new friend from becoming holiday dinner. Jack was the first turkey to be pardoned, beginning a Thanksgiving tradition that continues today. President Andrew Jackson owned an African gray parrot named Pole that had a filthy mouth. The president and Pole went everywhere together. "Oh my word! Please see that bird out. Such indignity!" Unfortunately, Pole outlived Jackson and attended his owner's funeral, and he had a few things to say. "If you want a friend in Washington, maybe you should get a quieter, smaller critter." And a smaller critter is what many presidents got. President Theodore Roosevelt had critters big and small. Some of his family's favorites were 5 guinea pigs. The president named them after people he admired, including Admiral Dewey, Roosevelt's horse-riding companion and the highest-ranking officer in the Navy. Admiral Dewey, Dr. Johnson, Bishop Doane, Fighting Bob Evans, Father O'Grady. The Roosevelts also had a couple of flying squirrels. Their names have been lost to history, but they were known to hide in the Roosevelt children's pockets, waiting for lumps of sugar. First Lady Louisa Adams, the wife of John Quincy Adams, found life difficult in the White House, but she sought comfort in some tiny companions, silkworms that she kept on mulberry trees. She harvested their silk and spun it into fabric that she used in her sewing projects. Almost every president to call the White House home has found companionship and comfort in a pet. Andrew Johnson was one of the few exceptions. Even though Johnson didn't officially have a pet, one day some mice wandered into his bedroom. The mice arrived while Johnson awaited charges of impeachment. He fed them flour from his family's mill, addressing them as little fellows. Watching their antics surely brought him peace and comfort during this uncertain time. After all, even when you're leaving Washington, a friend is welcome.
I have never been a pet, but rather a companion.
So what's the secret to this magical connection?
Well, it's all about trust, understanding, and the occasional carrot. You see, many animals provide unconditional love, and humans reciprocate with treats. It's a win-win.
That's true. But what about the challenges? Horses can be, quite unpredictable.
Ah, you've got a point. We horses are known for our spunky personalities, but that's the beauty of it. Life would be boring without a little neighing and hoof stomping.
Fair enough. I guess we all need a little bit of chaos to keep things interesting.
In the dance of life, we all need a good partner, whether they have 2 legs or 4 hooves. Companionship is the ultimate hoof print on the heart.
Well said, Tango. Maybe we'll have a petting zoo at the school next week.
Now you're talking. Just make sure there's plenty of carrots for everyone.
If we've been good companions to you, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I'm Adam.
And I'm Tango.
And this is Where There's a Williams, There's a Way. A note about text and art. Whether or not Truman actually said if you want a friend in Washington, get a dog, is anyone's guess. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But it's a great quote, isn't it? It should also be noted that some of the details surrounding the pets in this book and the families they belong to have been lost to history. I've taken creative liberties throughout, but the stories are very much rooted in fact. More about the presidents and their pets. George Washington, 1789 to 1797. Dogs: Captain Chloe, Drunkard, Forester, Lady Mopsy, Rover, Tasty, Tippler, Tipsy, Searcher, Sweetlips, and Vulcan, all hounds. Horses: Leonidas, Magnolia, Samson, Steady, Traveler, and other stallions. Blueskin and Nelson, Revolutionary war mounts. Rosinate, belonging to Eleanor. Nellie, Park, Custis Lewis, his step-granddaughter. Bird: Polly, a parrot belonging to his wife, Martha. Fun fact: George Washington enjoyed hunting. He crossed French Hound with black and tan hounds to create the American Foxhound, the first official American dog breed. John Adams, 1797 to 1801. Dogs: Juno and Satan mixed breed, belonging to his wife Abigail. Horses: Caesar and Cleopatra, carriage horses. Thomas Jefferson, 1801 to 1809. Bird: Dick, mockingbird. Others: 2 grizzly bear cubs, 1 sheep, and 1 ram. Fun fact: Jefferson was given 2 grizzly bears by General and explorer Captain Zebulon Pike. They traveled all the way from the West Coast on horseback. James Madison, 1809 to 1817. Bird: Green parrot, belonging to his wife Dolly. James Monroe, 1817 to 1825. Dog: Spaniel, belonging to his wife Maria. John Quincy Adams, 1825 to 1829. Alligator. Allegedly, records of the gator's whereabouts have been lost to history. Silkworms, belonging to his wife Louisa. Andrew Jackson, 1829 to 1837. Horses: Bolivia, Emily, Lady Nashville, Sam Patch, and Thruxton. Bird: Pole, African gray parrot. Fun fact: Sam Patch, 4-legged, was named after Sam Patch, 2-legged, the first famous American daredevil, who in 1829 jumped from a raised platform into the Niagara River near the base of Niagara Falls. Martin Van Buren, 1837 to 1841, a pair of tiger cubs. William Henry Harrison, 1841. Cow: Suki, Billy goat. John Tyler, 1841 to 1845. Dogs: a pair of wolfhounds and LeBeau Italian Greyhound. Horse: the General. Bird: Johnny Ty. Canary: James K. Polk, 1845 to 1849. No pets. Zachary Taylor, 1849 to 1850. Horses: Apollo, a former circus performer, an old whitey Mexican-American war mount. Millard Fillmore, 1850 to 1853. Horses: Mason and Dixon. Franklin Pierce, 1853 to 1857. Dogs: 7 small ones, 2 birds. Fun fact: Pierce received his 7 small pups from U.S. Representative Commodore Matthew Perry after signing a treaty with Japan. We don't know for sure what breed of dogs they were, but it's believed they were Japanese. Chins, otherwise known as sleeve dogs because they fit comfortably in a kimono sleeve. James Buchanan, 1857 to 1861. Dogs: Lara, Newfoundland, and Punch, Toy Terrier. Birds: 2 bald eagles. Elephants. Abraham Lincoln, 1861 to 1865. Dogs: Fido, who stayed in Springfield, Illinois, and Jip. Horses: belonging to his sons Tad and Willie. Cats: Tabby and Dixie, and others names unknown. Bird: Jack, turkey. Goats: Nanny and Nanko, white rabbits. Andrew Johnson, 1865 to 1869. No pets, but he did sometimes feed mice that wandered into his room. Ulysses S. Grant, 1869 to 1877. Dogs: Rosie and Faithful, Newfoundlands, belonging to his son Jesse. Horses: Butcher Boy, Cincinnati. Saddle horse: Jeff Davis wartime mount. Egypt and St. Louis carriage horses. Julia racing horse. Reb and Billy Button. Shetland ponies. And Jenny and Mary, belonging to his daughter Nellie. Birds: Parrot and gamecocks, belonging to Jesse. Rutherford B. Hayes, 1877 to 1881. Dogs: Dot, Cocker Spaniel. Duke, English Mastiff. Grim, Greyhound. Hector, Newfoundland. Jet, mixed breed. Juno and Sheep. Hunting dogs, and Otis, miniature Schnauzer. Cat: Siam and Miss Pussy, both Siamese. And Piccolomi. Birds: Mockingbird and 4 canaries. Others: several carriage horses, cows, and a goat. James Garfield, 1881. Dog: Vito, Newfoundland. Horse: Kit, belonging to his daughter Molly. Chester A. Arthur, 1881 to 1885. Horses: Grover Cleveland, 1885 to 1889, 1893 to 1897. Dogs: Collie, Cocker Spaniel, Dachshund, Foxhound, St. Bernard, and a poodle named Hector belonging to his wife Frances. Birds: canaries and mockingbirds belonging to Frances and gamecocks. Ponies: imported fish. Benjamin Harrison, 1889 to 1893. Dog: Dash, Collie. Billy Goat: Old Whiskers belonging to his grandchildren. Opossum: Mr. Reciprocity and Mr. Protection. Fun fact: Old Whiskers pulled a cart carrying Harrison's grandchildren around the White House. One day the cart took off. People walking by the White House spotted the president running after the goat. William McKinley, 1897 to 1901. Cats: Valeriano Wellula and Enrique de Lome, Angora. Birds: Washington Post, double yellow-headed Amazon, and roosters. Theodore Roosevelt, 1901 to 1909. Dogs: Pete, Bull Terrier. Rollo, St. Bernard. Sailor Boy, Chesapeake Bay Retriever. Skip, mixed breed. Blackjack, aka Black, Manchester Terrier, belonging to his son Kermit. And Manchu, Pekingese, belonging to his daughter Alice. Cats: Tom Quartz and Slippers. Horses: Bleestein, Renown, Rusty, General and Judge. Rocco Root, Grey Dawn, Wyoming. Yagenka and Algonquin, Shetland Pony, belonging to his son Archie. Birds: Eli Yale, Hyacinth Macaw, Loretta Parrot, Barn Owl, and Baron Speckle, Hen. Snakes: Emily Spinach, belonging to Alice, and other snakes belonging to his son Quentin. Badger: Josiah. Pig: Maud. Others: Peter, Rabbit, 2 kangaroo rats, flying squirrels, Admiral Dewey, Dr. Johnson, Bob Evans, Bishop Doan, and Father O'Grady, guinea pigs, plus a lion, a hyena, a wildcat, a coyote, 5 bears, a zebra, a one-legged rooster, plus other roosters, and a lizard named Bill. Fun fact: Tom Quartz was named after a character in a Mark Twain story, and Slippers was polydactyl. He had 6 toes on each foot. Roosevelt was said to have found the extra toes very amusing. William Taft, 1909 to 1913. Dog: Caruso. Cows: Wooly, and Pauline Wayne. Woodrow Wilson, 1913 to 1921. Dogs: Bruce, Bull Terrier, and Davy, Airedale Terrier. Cat: Puffins and Mittens. Others: Songbirds, Sheep, Old Ike, Ram. Warren Harding, 1921 to 1923. Dogs: Old Boy, English Bulldog, and Laddie Boy, Airedale Terrier. Birds: Bob and Petey, canaries, belonging to his wife Florence. Squirrel: Pete. Fun fact: in honor of President Harding, newsboys across the country collected thousands of pennies to create a life-size sculpture of Laddie Boy. Harding was a former newsboy himself. Calvin Coolidge, 1923 to 1929. Dogs: Bessie, Collie, Boston Bean, Bulldog, Calamity Jane, Shetland Sheepdog. King Cole, Belgian Shepherd, Palo Alto, Bird Dog. Paul Pry, Airedale Terrier. Peter Pan, Terrier. Prudence Prim and Rob Roy, White Collies. Ruby Rouch, Brown Collie. And Tiny Tim and Blackberry, Chows. Cats: Tiger and Blackie. Birds: Enoch, Goose, Nip and Tuck, canaries. Old Bill, Thrush, Snowflake, White Canary, and a mockingbird belonging to his wife Grace. Others: Billy, Pygmy Hippo. Ebenezer, Donkey. Rebecca and Reuben, Raccoons. Smokey, Bobcats. Tax Reduction and Budget Bureau, Lion Cubs. A Wallaby and a Black Bear. Herbert Hoover, 1929 to 1933. Dogs: Big Ben and Sony, Fox Terriers. Eaglehurst Gillette, Setter. Glenn, Scottish Collie. King Tut, Belgian Shepherd. Pat, German Shepherd. Patrick, Wolfhound. Ouija, Norwegian Elkhound. And Yukon, Siberian Husky. Alligators, 2 belonging to his son Alan. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Dogs: Major, German Shepherd. Meggie and Follow, Scottish Terrier. President, Great Dane. Tiny, Old English Sheepdog. Winx, Llewellyn Setter. And Blaze, English Bull Mastiff, belonging to his son Elliot.
Harry S. Truman, 1945 to 1953. Dogs: Feller, Cocker Spaniel, and Mike, Irish Setter, belonging to his daughter Margaret. Dwight D. Eisenhower, 1953 to 1961. Dog: Heidi, Weimaraner. Bird: Gabby, Parrot. John F. Kennedy, 1961 to 1963. Dogs: Charlie, Welsh Terrier. Clipper, German Shepherd. Golly, Poodle. Pushinka, Mixed Breed. Shannon, Cocker Spaniel. Wolf, Irish Wolfhound. And Butterfly, White Tips, Blackie, and Streaker, puppies of Charlie and Pushinka. Cat: Tom Kitten. Birds: Bluebell and Marybell, parakeets, and Robin, canary. Hamsters: Debbie and Billy. Horses: Rufus Sardar, belonging to his wife Jacqueline. Tex and Leprechaun, ponies. And Macaroni, pony, belonging to his daughter Caroline. Rabbits: Zsa. Fun fact: Zsa the rabbit was given to the Kennedy family by a magician. Apparently she could no longer fit in the magician's hat. Her magic career came to an end, but it was rumored that she had another skill. She could play a toy trumpet. Lyndon B. Johnson, 1963 to 1969. Dogs: Blanco, Collie. Him, Her, Edgar, and Freckles, Beagles. And Yuki, Mixed Breed. Other: hamsters and lovebirds. Richard Nixon, 1969 through 1974. Dogs: King Timahoe, Irish Setter. Pasha, Terrier. And Vicky, Poodle. Fun fact: Nixon had a very famous dog named Checkers while he was vice president, and Checkers may have saved Nixon's political career. In 1952, while campaigning alongside President Eisenhower as his running mate, Nixon was accused of taking illegal donations from supporters. He gave a speech defending himself and closed by saying that the only gift he had received was Checkers, and that his family was going to keep him. His approval rating soared. Gerald Ford, 1974 to 1977. Dogs: Liberty, Golden Retriever. Misty, Pup of Liberty. And Lucky, Mixed Breed. Cat: Shan, Siamese. Jimmy Carter, 1977 to 1981. Dogs: Grits, Border Collie. And Lewis Brown, Afghan Hound. Cat: Misty Malarkey Yin Yang, Siamese. Ronald Reagan, 1981 to 1989. Dogs: Fuzzy, Belgian Sheepdog. Lucky, Bouvier de Flandre. Peggy, Irish Setter. Rex, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. Taka, Siberian Husky. And Victory, Golden Retriever. Horses: at his ranch. Fun fact: Rex had the official job of turning on the power switch to light the national Christmas tree in 1985. George H.W. Bush, 1989 to 1993. Dogs: Millie, English Springer Spaniel. And Ranger, one of Millie's pups. Bill Clinton, 1939 to 2001. Dog: Buddy, Labrador Retriever. Cat: Socks. George W. Bush, 2001 to 2009. Dogs: Barney, Scottish Terrier. Miss Beasley, Scottish Terrier. And Spot, pup of George H.W. Bush's dog Millie. Cat: India, A.K. Willie, cow, at his ranch. Barack Obama, 2009 to 2017. Dogs: Bo and Sunny, Portuguese water dogs. Donald Trump, 2017. No pets. Did you know the dog is likely the first domesticated species and the first pet? That is probably why they're the most popular pet in the world.